Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here, and this is actually an intro to my review for, of course, The Last Ronin, TMNT, The Last Ronin. Spoiler, I love the comic, it's amazing. But the reason I have to do this intro is actually because I did this review months ago. I actually did it maybe like 2 or 3 weeks after the comic came out. I didn't have time to actually pick it up, or I didn't even pre-order it, which was super dumb. I wasn't thinking about that. But I picked it up like a week or two after having my daughter, so it was like the first comic I read. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do my review. I decided to do it with my GoPro, which at the time was just like, oh, I got my GoPro on me. It's for new dad stuff, family videos, random crap that pops up. So I ended up recording it, and fortunately, I had to check. Like honestly, I never checked until like right before I did this intro, but it's in 4K, which is why this whole review is in 4K because all my GoPro stuff is just in 4K. So it was a real like impromptu review. My daughter is literally like I'm holding her in my arms as I'm doing the review because I held her while I was reading the comic because it was just nighttime. So she's in the video, and it just cuts out at the end because of course, right at the end the battery died. So I had to do this intro from just for a video I did months ago simply because the battery cut out like a minute before I was finished. I was literally probably like the last minute and a half of the whole review just being like my final thoughts on it all, and then the battery died because it was exhausted. I was like, dang. So 2 or 3 months later, I'm doing this intro. I'm gonna have an outro as well when the actual review ends up cutting off. But had to do this intro. I guess with the delays, in a weird, thankful sense, I'm not really that late with the review because the second issue still hasn't come out yet. So I'm looking forward to that. But had to do this little intro to let you guys know like it's gonna be like a jarring little cut at the end where I'm just like going through the whole thing and I'm like, yeah, and then it's just gonna cut off and we'll be back here. So, wanted to let you guys know that because I had to do this review, otherwise the ending would just end. Or I had to do this intro, otherwise the review ending would just cut off and be nothing. So, enjoy the review. All right, so super impromptu. I got the cub with me right now. Just finished the first issue of The Last Ronin. I've been waiting for this for a long time. And it was amazing. It was so good. Full spoilers, by the way. But I was first off, that's a sick cover. The classic cover A. This is a sweet cover. I love this thing. I really wanted this. I was looking forward to it. Today's been a really good turtle day. I'm actually wearing my cool shredder shirt. I was so curious. I had to stay off the internet when this thing came out. I was like, I do not want to know who the turtle is. I was so excited to find out. And I'll save the spoiler for the ending in case you haven't seen it. But just going through it, I was so curious. I was like, okay, so it's set in the future. There's flying cars and stuff like that. They are, well, I can't say they. It's just one turtle now. Well, it's Michelangelo. There you go. It's Michelangelo. So I was curious the whole way through. I'm like, okay, first weapon he pulled up was the sai. I was like, maybe that's a hint. Maybe that's the hint to it being Raph. He was saying some stuff. He said damn. So I thought of the original Turtles movie. I was like, that could be a Raph thing. And then there's a part later where one of the other turtle voices swears as well. And I was like, that could easily be Raph. Like that seemed a bit more vulgar than just saying damn. And I was like, that could be, the Raph thing. And then the security stuff, I was like, I don't think it's Donnie. I think the security being mentioned as one of the panels, like, one of the other speech bubbles off panel. I was like, I don't think it's Donnie. So I didn't think it was Donnie. And it was hard to tell. I was like, it could be Leo. Just from some of the moments that they went through, and especially like when it got towards the end, I was like, I could easily see Leo of all people doing that, but considering the storyline, I was like, that doesn't really mean much of anything. It could be any of them. I hate the story. It makes me so sad. Like I love the turtle so much. I always be like, man, it depresses me so much because it's like 4 people, and when it's one left, it's like that means they killed off like 4, if not 5 people. Like typically when it's like, oh, there's only one turtle left, it's just that turtle. Like it means the other turtles are gone, Master Splinter is gone, Casey and April are typically gone as well. So it's just like everybody's gone. It's not just, it's already enough when you're taking out 3 other characters. But Mikey, man, that's so good. I think when it first was announced, I think I kind of wanted it to be Mikey just because he's always the funny one. I think I wanted it to be Mikey just to see his character go through, such a deep moment. And I assume we'll get a flashback in a later issue to exactly what happened, which I don't know if I really want to see that. But I love the first issue. I'm excited. I haven't actually like picked up a comic since the Back to the Future comic book came out. And this is my first comic after having this little lady here.
when I picked it up, well, I wanted to pick it up like the day after she was born at the hospital, but I was stupid and I didn't pre-order it because I'm stupid. I don't buy comics that often, so I wasn't thinking my gamer mindset like if it's big, which it's Eastman and Laird coming back for Ninja Turtles, so of course it's big. I should probably pre-order it, but fortunately, avoided all spoilers. I got to just sit here. She didn't flip out. It was like maybe a couple pages in, moved her around a bit. She's been good. Got to read my comic. Love it. So I'm very excited for the next issue, which is sadly in January, but love this first issue. The action was really good. The action was actually really good. For some reason, Karaya's alive in this future, so she was like knocked into a coma or something like that. So super crazy. The Foot Clan has even more advanced robots. They have cyborgs now, not just robots. So I'm excited to see how this plays out. Surprise, surprise! The girl in the beginning whose motorcycle Mikey stole, they said like, "Oh, Jones, your bike was stolen." I was like, obviously that has to be Casey and April's daughter. Like it just had to be, or granddaughter. I wasn't sure like how far in the future things really were, which it seems interesting. It could still technically be their granddaughter, but she didn't look that old. So I don't. It's kind of hard to tell. Like that's the weird thing because I'm like, April looked older, but to have it couldn't possibly be her granddaughter. Like it wouldn't make any sense. So Karai had a son, and then she's been put into a coma somehow, and she's been frozen there in time. So when she pops out, which I mean, she's in a coma. She's gonna wake up. So I'm curious how that's gonna play out because depending on what they do, story wise, I don't know. I haven't read pretty much any of the comics, so I don't really know like the continuity of the storyline. I might look it up now after this because I was avoiding all spoilers. I was too scared to figure out who it was. So I was like, I can't watch anything on this comic because I do not want to know who it is. And I love the way they did it. It was literally just like, he wakes up, having the little dream, and then he turns. He's like, "Oh my God!" And it's like, "April, is that really you?" And then she's just like, "Yeah, it is." But who are you just talking to? Michelangelo. Pam, into the comic. So it's like, Mikey, which really sucks because he's the happy one. So it's always harder when the happiest person has to go through the toughest of stuff. But good comic, definitely enjoyed it. I would love to know your thoughts on this. This first issue, I think was really good. Like I said, very excited. Eastman Laird,
And that is the review. So I know I was like in the middle of a sentence there, and I just go with, and that's the review. But that was really it. Like it was really my final thoughts. I enjoyed the comic. I'm excited to see what happens next. Of course, since then, I've definitely gotten some, something. I try not to look into it because with this being such a crazy storyline that they're telling, I didn't want to look too far into it. But I've definitely heard some leaks. I know that the cover is gonna be like Raphael, and it's like him with like weapons in his back. So it seems like we're going to be getting a flashback of seeing, at the very least, how Raph died. It'll probably end up involving, all the turtles. But I didn't look any further into it. I was just like, okay, that was kind of the reference. It was like, that's seemingly going to be the cover, and we'll see when it officially releases. But I've seen that image multiple times, so I think that is the official cover with, like, at least the main official cover. There's like a billion covers, just for this this one alone. So I'm sure that'll have a billion as well. But that seems to be the consensus as of now. It's like, okay, we're probably gonna need a flashback with Raph and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it. But as of now, we're just waiting. I got it on my mailing list, so whenever it comes out, I forgot the new date. I want to say it might be the 21st. I don't even remember, but it's on my mailing list, so I know once it comes out, I technically have a pre-order. I'm not gonna make that mistake twice. So I have it on my automatic like update list. So I'm excited for it. I'm definitely looking for it. I really enjoyed this first issue. I cannot wait to see what ends up happening with this story. The fact that they've even pushed it means that they must give a crap. It's, Eastman and Laird coming back to begin with is just insane. But the fact that they decided to push it because they're just like, we want to make sure it's right, that has me really excited for just this whole story. I'm like, if they care that much, that should be good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not, I would say I'm scared because of all the whole crazy cyberpunk stuff that happened at the end of last year. If you're in that, if you're in the comic nerd realm, you're probably somewhere in the game nerd realm. You've at least heard of the crazy madness of cyberpunk. I never cared about the game anyway, so for me it was just like, oh, that sucks for other people that wanted the game. I never thought it was that special to begin with, but I'm not worried about that for TMNT. They pushed it back. Eastman and LA know what they're doing. They've had this story for a long time apparently as well, and they're just finally able to tell it now. So I'm looking forward to issue 2 of this thing, and another amazing cover. I love this cover. It's so simple, but it's just like, that's sick. I love this. That's great. That's a good cosplay. But looking forward to issue 2. As you guys can see, I didn't reference it in the intro, but that's my little Turtles in Time figure. I think the autofocus is on. Let's find out. It should be. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's on. So this I actually got from Loot Crate. So if you guys want to check out my unboxing for the NECA Loot Crate, totally shameless promotion for myself here. But I got 3 Ninja Turtle crates, all amazing. Especially the second one, which is where I got that from. It was all based on Turtles in Time, which is just my favorite Super Nintendo. That's like my favorite Ninja Turtles thing. This is why I hate filming in 4K. It was too hot, so I got another cut. As you can see, I got the hat. I'm gonna shut my mouth. I'm gonna make it super quick. Check out my reviews for my Loot Crate unboxing. Crazy nerd stuff. Tons of great Ninja Turtle stuff. I would love to know your thoughts on the comic, so please put your comments down in the comment section below. Are you happy that it's Mikey? Not happy that it's Mikey? I still think that was the best choice just because I love the happy character having the most tragic stories and seeing how they survived that. We'd love to know your thoughts on all this, what you're looking forward to for issue number 2 with the potential of flashbacks of seeing the other turtles die. I don't know if I'm really ready for that because I feel like it'll F me up a little. I always hate when I see the turtles die. I don't know why, but those are the characters I'm just like, I just want them to be happy. I don't know. It just always gets me when it's the turtles for some odd reason. But we'd love to know your thoughts on the first issue of the Last Ronin. So please put your comments down in the comment section below. And of course, thanks for watching.